I know we falter in that obligation. I know we do. Each one of us falters in it individually. Sometimes we falter in it as the church, as this church. And sometimes the church universally falters in it. I think by and large she's faltering in it right now. Universally. Because I think she has so much strayed from the authentic gospel until it's hardly even recognizable anymore. By and large. Not every church, I'm just saying, taken as a whole. But brothers and sisters, here's my hope. Jesus Christ himself said to Peter, "You are Peter, Petros, little rock. Small pebble. Little fish in a big pond type situation. But upon this rock," speaking of himself and the glorious gospel of himself, the good news of salvation by himself. "On this rock I will build my church." And then he said words that I take tremendous comfort from. "And the gates of hell will not prevail against her." Amen. Against it. Now, brothers and sisters, I don't know how much of a church it takes left in the earth to say, well, she's still standing. I think she's at a pretty low ebb right now, to be frank with you. I think the tide's fairly low. But she's still standing. There are pockets, brothers and sisters, this world over, of churches with faithful ministers and congregations that delight in the preached word of truth. And ministers that are studious and careful with the handling of that word and in the dispensing of it. And my confidence and my comfort and my hope lies in the fact that Jesus Christ himself has said she's not going to be smothered. Amen. The light's not going to be extinguished ultimately. It may grow a little dim. It's certainly not as bright right now as it was in the 1800s, is it, brother? Not that Brother Edmund was here. He wasn't. I want to make that perfectly clear. But Brother Edmund, let me just go back to your day. You've been on this old earth 80 plus years. Brother Edmund, you remember the days when at the church doors open, people clamored to get in them, don't you?
I remember when Savannah Church, for instance, they had to put chairs in the aisle.
Yes, sir.
In Faith Church, the same way.
Yes, sir.
Same way at Lanes. All of our churches were that way.
I myself have seen it. I'm half his age. I'm less. I'm more than half his age. Okay, let me clarify that. He's not 100. I'm 50. But I myself have seen that at Bay Branch. I've seen it at Love's Chapel. I was a young man. But let me tell you something. I haven't seen it since. In any church. Any church. And brothers and sisters, I know that sometimes it is so easy to look around and look at, and let me bring this home to the Primitive Baptists. Look at our numbers, and when we go to the foundation in April, we're going to hear about at least one more church that's closed, and possibly more. And look at how even the ones whose doors remain open, when the last one of those 7 widows dies, you know that they're going to padlock it because that's all there is.
Well, here's probably one of our largest Baptist churches in Savannah, Ardsley Park.
Yes.
I saw in the paper not too long ago where they're advertising for a minister. Now that's getting bad.
Yeah, it is.
That's bad.
They had a split not too long ago.
And they had a tremendous congregation at one time.
Yeah.
In the city of Savannah.
My word, yes. That was a church on the go 30 years ago.
Right.
And really, I guess 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But
It's just like we were talking
it's
about
almost
in
a
our
monument
Bible
now.
study. Yeah, we coming tonight when we left our house, we have some young people that live around us that go to First Baptist, and they had a big to do at their house, you know, and they were outside and playing and doing, and you know, and Darrell would mention it, and I said, well, if you think about it, First Baptist tonight looks exactly like we do.
Yes.
There is nobody, no young people will go at night. And I won't say no because we have some here, but basically, and that's where it is. I mean, they are stopping going to prayer meeting, to conference, to Sunday night service. That's no more. And it's every church. Every church has the night thing right now because young people don't go.
You know what I don't understand is there's so many of us baby boomers that grew up in the church. You would think that we would all be in church because there's so many of us. It seems like the church would be filling up again. Because when you're young, I didn't do as well as I should have. But as we get older, we cling to that fellowship and that learning and everything. And I just don't know where they are. You know, you talk to people and say, well, where do you go to church? Well, we used to go to, but now we don't.
Diana, part of that, and maybe this study that we're doing on Sunday afternoons in Genesis, maybe we need to do that in this church. In some arena where it's more convenient to everyone, let us get through the 12 weeks of it first. But this study answers that very question. And I'll try to capsulize it for you, Diana. And you and I are not very far separated as far as generations, are we?
What?
No, we're not very far.
Okay.
I'm betwixt you.
She'll let you say that.
I'm between you and your son.
She'll let you say that.
Yeah,
We're not.
But you're not as old as I am.
Well, no, but we're not that far separated.
You know, like you used to have a young child. You
Yeah.
know, when I had a 10, 12, 14-year-old, and of course circumstances were different. But I did shirk my church duty, and I didn't do like I should have done. Charlie always went because his parents were here, but now it seems like all of our baby boomer children are grown, and you know, I drag Lee here. She comes and she knows she's got to go. So it seems like there would be more of us. And your generation, though, see you. I mean, some of you guys have smaller children.